most confusing regular customer you've ever dealt with. There's this woman who comes into my restaurant 3 times a week, orders the same $20 meal, and tips me $300 every single time. My coworkers can't decide if she's rich, crazy, or both. She always requests my section, even if it means waiting an hour, and she asks me the most random personal questions, like what I'm studying or if I'm sleeping enough. Sometimes she knows stuff I never told her, like when I switched majors, or when I moved into a new apartment. The strangest part is the way she watches me work. Not like a stalker, but more like she's trying to memorize my face before I vanish. At first, I thought maybe she was just lonely or routines made her feel comfortable, but then she asked if I still played basketball. Thing is, I quit junior year and I'd never mentioned it. When I asked how she knew, she panicked and said, I looked athletic, then quickly changed the subject. My coworker Marcus kept teasing me, calling her my secret admirer. She only requests your section, man. She's into you, he'd say. The others made kissy faces every time she walked in, but something about her felt different, like it wasn't just a crush. Then my mom was diagnosed with breast cancer. Suddenly, I was splitting my life between double shifts, hospital visits, and endless insurance forms. I didn't tell anyone at work. I didn't want pity, but somehow, this woman knew something was wrong. She stopped asking so many questions, left bigger cash tips, and started scribbling notes on napkins, little smiley faces, hang in there, things like that. One night, I messed up her order, forgot her extra lemon, brought the wrong dressing. Instead of complaining, she slid an envelope across the table. Inside was $300 and a note that read, for whatever you need most right now. The next time I tried to give it back, she acted like she had no idea what I was talking about and started chatting about the weather. One Thursday, she came in with an older couple who looked like her parents. They smiled at me warmly while she ordered her usual salmon. After they left, Marcus ran into the kitchen like, dude, your cougar just introduced you to her parents. If you don't make a move, I will. Everyone was convinced she was working up to asking me out, but I couldn't stop thinking about how much time my mom had left. She made it to my 18th birthday. Barely. I spent the whole day holding her hand, talking about nothing important. Before the end, she pulled an envelope from under her pillow and told me not to open it until after. We both knew what she meant. The funeral was small, just me, some neighbors, and the nurses who cared for her. That night, in our empty apartment, I opened her letter. She revealed that I was adopted when I was 3 days old. My birth mom was only 14 at the time and chose a closed adoption. My mom said it was perfect. She wanted to be my only mother, but she'd kept a letter my birth mom wrote for me in case I ever wanted to read it. That letter was written in purple ink on lined paper, the handwriting neat and round like a teenager's. She explained she wasn't ready to raise a child, but she thought about me every single day. She promised giving me up was the hardest thing she'd ever done. At the bottom she signed it, Love always, Marina Wells, with a little heart next to her name. I read that name over and over until it clicked. Marina Wells, the woman from the restaurant. I couldn't process it. I called in sick for a week. When I finally came back, she was at her usual table, salmon getting cold. The second she saw me, her face went pale, her hands shook, and I knew she realized I'd figured it out. Through tears, she whispered, I've been waiting 2 years for this moment. I'll understand if you need time, or if you never want to see me again. But I didn't need time. I slid into the booth across from her, reached for her hand, and she gripped it like she'd never let go. We both cried right there in the middle of the dinner rush. Nobody cared, and I finally understood why she'd been there all along.